If you were born in the 70s, 80s, and maybe even early 90s, I have a really important question for you. Did you ever figure out how to play Myst?
How to play? Yeah. How to actually beat it and make progress in the game? No, not at all. Like, I learned how to move and the controls and how to get around the map, but that's about it. How to actually make any progress or solve any of the puzzles in the game, I don't have a clue to this day. Granted, when Myst came out, I was about 10 years old, so I wasn't the target audience for that game in the first place. For those of you who don't know, Myst came out in 1993. I was born in 83, so hence 10 years old. And it was a puzzle game in which you were playing as an adventurer who had the ability to create books. Books took you to other worlds. And as this player, you were exploring this dead civilization that discovered this ability to make these books that took you to different worlds. And Myst was one of the most popular games of the 90s. For its time period, the graphics were ridiculous. It sold over 2 million copies of the game. Remember, this is prior to digital downloads. You had to go to the store and order a physical copy of this game. And it still sold over 2 million copies of the game. That game was the reason that many people actually bought a CD-ROM drive for their computer. It was one of the first games that I was able to play that came off just one CD. To put it in perspective, that same year, 1993, another game came out, Might and Magic's The Dark Side of Xene. And while I can no longer find my copy of Myst, I do have my copy of Xene still. Yeah, this game came out in 1993. The same year as Myst. This game is not on one CD. Dark Side of Xene came out on 8 floppy disks, with its companion game also on 8 floppy disks called Might and Magic Clouds of Xene. So Myst was the absolute innovation of its time. If you liked puzzle games, if you liked fantasy games, Might and Magic's, the King's Quest series, you absolutely wanted to play Myst. I think at this point there's a total of 7 different Myst games. It even spawned 3 different books based on the video game. And yes, I'm a big enough nerd that I have owned and read all 3 of these books. 2 of those are the exact same book. They just re-released a different version of it 3 years later. They're down in my basement somewhere in a box. So in summary, begged my parents to purchase a CD-ROM for the computer. Begged my parents to drive to the store and buy the game. Had my parents take me to buy the books. Read all the books. Still never figured out how to beat the game. I had a friend who claimed he did, but I'm pretty sure he was just lying. Pretty sure no one actually ever beat Myst.